position is production manager, and he's also a writer, and he knows an awful lot about video games, and
he spends a great deal of time with them.
And he's really great in supplying reference, and
he's stuck up in the booth. Okay, so stop by the booth and you can meet Steve.
Yeah, talk to Steve. He knows a lot about this, so it'll be fun.
Did I leave out anything? Because I know almost Dan. Okay.
Thanks to Veronica 202 selling out, which was the introduction of Kevin Keller.
Hey.
We're going to be doing a 4-part miniseries next year with starring Kevin Keller. So that'll be fun.
Excellent. Okay. So now, okay, go ahead, do it again. I love it when you applaud. Okay. So now, let's open it up for some Q&A, because otherwise these guys will just talk to each other for the next hour and a half. Yes?
Are you guys ever going to reintroduce the Archie dynamic new look stories anytime soon?
Oh, you mean the new look? Okay, so who wants to comment on that? Because I know something's in the wind, isn't it? Victor? Say it again. We're not doing that. So treasure the copies you have. Okay, seal them up. Don't ever open them up again. Yes.
Kristen Breslin, TSA News. We saw in the cycling of the photos here a bit of a concept art regarding the Sonic Colors tie-in issue. Either Ian or Patrick, can you explain when we're going to see that? Is that going to be November around the time of the release or shortly thereafter?
I can't remember the production schedule off the top of my head. I believe it's running in Sonic the Hedgehog number 219.
Okay.
It'll be the format that we've been using for a lot of the tie-ins lately, the whole Another Time, Another Place scenario, where it's a brief look at the game story. You'll get the general idea of how things are set up as they are in the game, and then if you want the whole story, you go on to play the game itself.
Okay. Next. Yes.
From the Tails arc in Sonic Universe, what made you guys think to dig up the Battle Cuckoos? Because Tails Adventure is probably the most obscure game in the franchise, and I was absolutely floored when I saw them again. What made you think of that?
I really wanted to bring a lot of the older game elements back into the comic, and some of the older stuff has a lot of rich stuff to mine from. That, and I love Tails Adventure. It's such a bizarre game within the general scope of the franchise, and the Battlebird Armada is a very interesting group of villains. They're different than what you normally see. So we decided that since we wanted to give Tails his own arc, give him a chance to shine, what better way to do it than the one game that he's actually known for, besides Sky Patrol, but we're not going to mention that ever again, the White Company. So we brought back the Battlebird Armada to give Tails a chance to really show his stuff and to introduce a new and fun villainous dynamic to the book.
Next. Lady in back, behind the camera there. No, there's definitely a lot of people, a lot of different people. Fernando here, Dan, you'll see Joe's style, you'll see Andrew's style. It's different artists. The whole thing is their character style sheets. We all know what the basic Archie game should look like, and we know what a lot of the supporting characters should look like. But each artist brings his or her own style. If you look at how Tanya handles Sabrina, it's different from some of the other variations you've seen, but it's still Sabrina. But then Tanya brought us into a whole other realm, went more into the mystical realm. So Archie gives a lot of their artists a certain amount of artistic freedom to sort of express themselves through these characters and through the style that they choose. And I haven't even any idea how many different artists have worked on this series since 1940 something. But just figure that they probably could fill the seats in this room. Did that answer your question? Oh, good, thank you. The gentleman with the T-shirt and the arm and the mustache. And thank you. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Looking at the display, there was a shape she looked as if she was a king. Is that a story idea? Was that something that you tossed around and never went forward? Is that something that's being considered?
It is absolutely something that's going to happen. We have, just as Fernando was saying, we've reached forward. So we reached back actually and pulled a lot of those fun characters forward into the meteor hitting the comic shop thing. We've also decided, that there's a lovely large market of human beings out there that we weren't necessarily reaching with all of our products. And Jinx is a great character. She's well known. It was fun in her youth, in that younger period of her life. And now we have a chance to sort of show her as a teenager and introduce a whole new audience to her. So that is happening. I'm not the one to speak on that specifically, because I wasn't asked to work on it, but that's all right. But at some point very soon, actually, do you have an idea, sir, in 2011 when they'll see this? Okay, good. So I'm not the only one, because I was feeling bad. But keep an eye out, absolutely. And I think you said, Andrew, you know, Archie.com, ArchieComics.com. A lot of information flowing through there. A lot of stuff happening. Next, let me go to this side, because you guys have been working too hard. Take a breather. Let's go over there for one. Yes.
Do you know if Sonic the Hedgehog is going to, like, do you have like some kind of reference to Sonic the Hedgehog in the Archie comics when they go into the game shows?
In the Wonder Realm, I don't think, no, we didn't do any Sonic crossover there. Missed that one.
So we don't have a Sonic into the Archie realm yet. Let's see what happens. It's a brave new world. One here, and then I'll go back over here. Oh, 1, 2, and then I'll go back over here. So that gentleman there? What's the secret of the S on Jughead's chest? You can find Victor outside after this meeting, you know.
Actually, there may be a clue in one of the year one freshman year storyline.
Which is written by Backlash, right?
But we don't know. It was, you know,
because it's a secret. I think there's these wonderful moments where an artist says, "Watch this," and then it becomes this iconic question that never goes away. You know, whoever came up with the S on the chest, you know, that's the person to ask. And well, you can't ask him. This gentleman, and I said, go over here, and then I'll go to you. Don't worry. This gentleman, yes.
I had a question because next year I think will be the 70th anniversary of the original appearance of Archie. I was just wondering if there are any special issues or any commemorative.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
It'll be the 70th anniversary of the first appearance of Archie in 2011. I was wondering if they have any special issues or commemorative things going on.
There are going to be special issues. There's going to be a lot of special stuff happening. I'm really not the person to speak on that yet, and some of that is going on in a small room with a big steel door and a large lock on it. But trust me, that time in history, that iconic time in history, will not go by unmarked and uncelebrated, I assure you. So he's already revealed one of the secrets. Now none of you can leave this room. Stop it, Andrew, I'm having fun here. Okay. All right, but no, trust me, there's a lot in the wind for that. So now I said I would go here. I'll go to him. I'll come back to you later. Yes.
In the Sonic the Hedgehog books, will we be seeing any badniks anytime soon, specifically Scratch and/or Grounder?
No immediate plans for the classic badniks or Scratch or Grounder or well, wait, no. They might make a cameo in an upcoming story, but no major plans for the classic badniks.
Okay. This gentleman here, yes?
Yeah, just a little bit of history. They actually did a fairly sizable gag about Jughead's leather sweater. There was a story back in the 60s where they were going to change the name of Riverdale High. Somebody had bought the school, and they were going to change the name. And Archie's like, I don't know if I want to change my arm. And Jughead is like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. What are you talking about? You wear an S. What are you going to change it to when they change the name of the school? Probably a B.
Okay, so I would ask, why do you know that? But
forget nothing.
There we go. A blessing and a curse. Now we had a question from, we have one in the back, and then, yeah, hold on, one in the back. Gentleman with the cap, the person with the cap? Yeah.
Sorry, say that again? No adaptations for Sonic 4. You'll just have to download and play it yourself. Don't worry, I'm going in blind too.
I know over here you had a question?
Are they ever gonna? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Are they ever gonna do Young Salem again?
I like you. Okay. Let's just put it this way. There's a small rebel band forming.
Handsome rebels.
Yes, handsome rebel bands. And we play instruments too, right? There are several of us who would love to bring Young Salem back. It's adventure, it's fantasy, it's sword and sorcery, it's a lot of crazy stuff. There's an evil wizard that we want to, I mean, there's just so many places. And the gentleman over there with the white hat would love to be working on it again. And so I would say, keep an eye out. And by the way, go to the Archie website and write like crazy how much you want that book, okay? Every day would do it. Every day would do it. I think that's a good starting point. Yes, Young Salem. Young. Okay, next. Come on, more hands. Oh, the gentleman in the back there. Yes? I didn't tell you to stand up. Okay, go ahead. Do it. Go for it.
Basically, with all new ideas coming out of Archie, seeing a lot of different stuff coming out, how do you handle, when the progressive characters meet the iconography, which is very important, because Archie should be what's going on in the world. How do you, so basically, how do you balance that?
We do? Oh, yeah. I could answer that, but let's start over. Let's give Dan a moment here. Dan?
Well, I didn't understand the question.
When Archie is so iconic, what Archie is about, the tone, the feel, the safety, the warmth of it all. So how do we bring that into with all this new stuff we're doing? How do we balance that out?
The basic premise never changes. It's still all about Archie, Betty, and Veronica, the love triangle. That never changes. We bring him into current situations. We add new characters, new friends. But it's the reason I think Archie's been around for 70 years is because it still sticks to those old values. So no matter who comes to Riverdale, no matter where they go, it's going to still be Archie and Archie in the game.
Fernando?
Yeah, we're always trying to, we always have that basic premise. We work hard to stay true to it. And then we have our editors to rein us in if we ever get too far away and get a little too crazy. Our editors say, knock it off. We bring it back and we draw a lot on what's happening today, what's current, what's hip, what kids are into. And also what's popular, like the Jersey Shore stuff and the Twilight books. But like Dan said, at the core there's always the Archie and his friends, and we always have to come back to that.
I want to get Tanya in on this too, because she did something very different with Sabrina, and it's the same thing. It's an iconic character that I saw in this sort of cutesy, cartoony way, and then Tanya went wild on it. So. Tanya, how did you approach that? How did you go off in that direction?
Well, manga's become very popular in comics, and especially in drawing girls to comic books in general. So I think Archie was really interested in doing a little experiment and seeing what would happen if they took Sabrina and relaunched her as a manga character. And I was lucky enough to be the one to do it. And I think it was a really fun adventure, and changing up a classic character. And some people weren't happy at first, because they wanted to see the traditional Sabrina, but she's never gone away. She still appears in a lot of the other digests and stuff. So this was kind of like a separate thing, but it was fun.
I think also you have to realize that, if you really think about it, you can even look at the Archie Americanas. Archie, yes, always reflects an era. That's one. Because the clothing changes, the attitudes changes. There's a hippie feel. There's a 40s feel. So if you look at that, we've always been doing that. I wasn't there when they started it, but I'd like to be there.